What's up, guys? Bravo Joe here, coming at you with another video. And today I'm going to be bringing you my updated 10E Swordsoul deck profile. This is the deck that I use in real life for like any tournament, any competitive event that I'm going to be going to. This is the deck that I will be running. I have updated it for the new February 2022 format. As you guys know, we lost Protos and we lost 2 Desires. So I've done some tweaking, made some changes. Let's get into it. Start with the main deck. Starting off with the Swordsoul cards. We have 3 Ecclesia. Card's super nutty, super good. It's a free special summon, and it gets you to it. If your opponent controls my monsters, then you can special summon it from your hand, tribute it, and special summon the Swordsoul from your deck. Really crazy. We have the best normal summon turn 1 in Moyi. Moyi's super crazy. When it's sent to the graveyard as a synchro material, you get to draw a card. So this is typically the card that you use to go into Shishao. In a perfect world, this is the card you want to use turn 1. And you chain block your Shishao with it. Moyi gets you to draw, and then Shishao searches for whatever you want on summon. Next we have our extender in Long Yon. 3 Long Yon. Long Yon is like I said, free extender. Discard a Swordsoul Caller or a Worm monster. And he special summons himself with a token, and he's where you get to your rank 10, your level 10 play. Excuse me. And lastly, we have 2 Taye. Taye is your best normal summon after turn 1. After you have cards in your graveyard or whatever, because Taye is the only one that acts independently, I should say. For Moyi, you need to reveal a Swordsoul card or a worm in hand. And for Long Yon, you need to pitch one, like discard one to the graveyard. And since Taye banishes a Swordsoul card or a worm in graveyard to activate his effect to get the token. So post turn 1, Taye is for sure the best one. And that is it for the Swordsoul cards. Next we have the 10E portion of the deck. 3 Shuna. We have 3 Shuna here. Shuna, all of the 10E cards have the same effect where if you don't control an effect monster, you can special summon them from the hand for free. All of them say that. But this one, Shuna's effect, you can banish it from your hand or graveyard while you control a face-up non-effect monster, and special summon the 10E from your deck. And that effect locks you in the worms, which isn't a problem. About 90% of what we do is worms. Next we have Vashuda, the board breaking king. This card helps break so many boards. 1 second. If you control a face-up non-effect monster, you banish this card from your hand and graveyard, target a card on field, and bounce it. So this forces out disruption. Just makes your opponent using the gate on it, or either they use it or they lose it. Card super good. Next we have 3 Adhara. I will be playing 3 of this. I'm sorry, 2 at Adhara, but I will be playing 3 of this card. I'm just waiting to get another super in not in, but try to trade for one here pretty soon. I think my friend has one for me. I will play 3 Adhara. I think at this point Adhara is just as good as Shuna is. Adhara allows you to banish it, and you target a worm monster that's banished, and you add that monster back to your hand. So you can use this to recycle your 10E monsters here, or Taye. Like I said, Taye effect, you have to banish a Swordsoul card or a worm monster from your graveyard, so you can banish a Swordsoul monster, and this could add it back. Super good, and it's a level 1 tuner. We're playing Hawk Firebrax in this build, so it's a level 1 tuner that has the ability to summon itself out for free. So that is super good. So we will be playing 3 of those, but at the moment just 2. And lastly, for the last one, we play Shatana. We play Heavily Dragon Circle in this build, and this is you need a level 4 to really capitalize on that. I chose Shatana because it has the best effect of all level 14Es. So that's just about it for that explanation. Next, we're gonna get to the hand traps, the monster hand traps at least. We have 2 Ogre, and we have 3 Ash Blossom, Enjoy Your Spring. Ash just a generic hand trap. It's good against pretty much anything. Just a real solid all-around hand trap that hits just about any deck in the format at some point. Ogre, I think, is one of the better hand trap options for this format. I think Ogre's really good. Hits the Journey, the Adventure token card, the continuous spell that gets them the Griffin Rider and the Draco back. He just hit it. Plunder is a really good deck this format, and this is their field spell. Once they activate the effect, it's just super good. It does a lot. So I think Ghost Ogre is really good this format. And lastly, we have the Break. Just the one that's about 0/0/1. We are playing, like I said, Halka Rorodon. Next up, we got the spell cards. We have 3 emergence. Yes, 3 emergence and 1 summon. No need to explain emergence. Emergence is the Rhoda for the deck. It adds a worm. It adds a Swordsoul card, and if you control a synchro monster, you add a worm. We used to search Protos with this. RP Protos. He out of there. It was a necessary hit. But yeah, this card super good. Just more source for names. No need to explain. Summit. I know some people are cutting Summit. Some people don't like it. I personally am a fan of Summit. It's a monster reborn. It just helps with follow-up plays if you have it. I just think it's a solid card. I didn't see a reason to cut it. I still like it very much. Next up, we have 2 Vessel, and we have 2 Heavenly Dragon Circle. These are like the consistency cards that really work with the tennies. Vessel's super good. It really sets up your graveyard with tenny plays. And remember, you do not have to dump a tenny. You dump a worm with this. You don't have to dump a tenny. But if you control the face of non-effect monster, you can dump a worm, add a tenny, which is really good. Heavenly Dragon Circle, you tribute a 1 worm monster that's cost, and you add a worm from deck to from your deck to your hand. The most important thing, the reason we play this because it dodges hand traps like Imperm Chalice and like Veiler, because they target and just remove the target. So for example, you normal summon Moyi, reveal, activate the effect to get the token, and they chain a Imperm or Chalice or Veiler. You can chain Heavenly Dragon Circle, tribute your Moyi, and now their card has lost their target and 1 resolve, and you add Shathana, and you be able to special summon Shathana from your hand, since the only thing you control is the token, which is really good. That is the main usage for Heavenly Dragon Circle. Also, the turn, not the turn it's into graveyard, but in turn after that, if it's in grave while you have a face-up non-effect monster on the board, you contribute it to add a 10U. And then the last card for consistency is the 1 Pot of Desires. No need to explain Pot. Next, like those second cards, I like to call them. We have 2 Droplet and 2 Chalice. With Adventure token and Brave Pre-K running around Scythe locking everything. I don't want to auto lose to a Scythe because I can't access my extra deck. Scythe evaded the ban list once again. It is still very much relevant in this format. Honestly, I feel like without Scythe, this format would be really cool. I think Scythe is a really glaring issue with this format. But anyway, to get off my soapbox about that. These cards are here to ensure that I don't lose to Scythe. I want to see one because you can't guarantee you're going first every turn. Scythe is in the format. They're going to play it. You're going to play PK. It's probably the most popular deck. I don't know if it's the most popular deck, but I know it's up there. I know it's very well represented. A lot of good players playing it, setting up the Scythe lock. And this is my out to say a lock. We do not want to lose. We don't want to auto lose any game because of Scythe. Last 2 spell cards I'm playing are 2 Emergency Teleport. I think this card is really good. I think it pairs really well with the Ogres. It acts as an extender. Getting the Ogre out, getting a tune on board, so you can make Ogre and another monster into Fibrax. And go on with your plays from there. If you open it and Hulk Fibrax is, you don't need to go for Hulk, and you have this card, you can flip it on your opponent's turn and special summon out an Ogre. And the Ogre's another disruption they have to play through plus your board. It's just really good. I think it's a really good versatile card as far as it can act as disruption or it can act as an extender to get you to your Needle Fiber plays. So I think this is really good. And lastly, for our trap cards, 3 Imperm and 1 Blackout. Not much explanation needed there. Moving on to the extra deck, guys. We have 2 Monk, 1 Shaman, Big Needle, you smell me, and Aurora I think 2 Monk are pretty standard, 1 Shaman pretty standard. Having access to these cards, Thorhawk and Aurora, this allows you to push through so much interaction. It just gives Swordsoul another way to pivot through interaction when your initial plays get stopped. If you have a tuner and another monster on board, you can go into these plays, make the Aurora, use the token and your death spot to make a Yazi or anything, and pop a card in the field, pop the Yazi, special summon of the Swordsoul, and you're just full comboing again. Super crazy. All at the cost of 1 brick in Death by 001. We don't play Cold Wing or none of that extra stuff. We don't need to. At the cost of 1 brick in Deathbot, which really isn't a crazy brick. If you draw it, I mean, it's not the end of the world because Hal can summon it from hand. But super good. I think this is the way to play 10 Swordsoul at the moment. Moving on to the synchros, the heart and soul of the deck. This is a synchro deck. 2 Shisha. Shisha's crazy. On summon, it searches anything you want, any Swordsoul card you want, or banishes one from deck. You don't do that a lot. Typically, if your Moyi gets stopped or your Taye gets stopped, then you have a long gun in hand. You long gun effect. You know, if someone hits stuff on the token, use the token in a level 4 to make Shisha, and then use Shisha to banish the trap, and the trap will generate a token, and you use that token to still synchro with your Moyi to get your 10. But that doesn't come up too often. One Changing. Changing's crazy. Super good card. Doesn't get as big anymore because we don't see Desires as much anymore to banish. But he gains 100 attack for every banished card, and your opponent's monsters lose 100 attack for every banished card. If it would be destroyed by card effects, you can banish a card from your graveyard. Any card doesn't have to be like a Swordsoul or Worm or anything specific. Banish any card from your graveyard to protect it. And that effect is not once per turn. And then when a card gets banished, you get to banish a card from your opponent's field and grave, non-targeting, which is super crazy. He just deals with problems, bro. Any big monster, any untargetable monster, he just deals with it. He either beats over it or banishes it. Super good, super necessary. And next we have the get those out of the way. Let's see for the Swordsoul synchros. Next we have like the Yang Zing package, right? 1 Yazi, 2 Baxia, 1 Chow Fang. We don't know what Yazi does. Yazi targets a card. This card can't be targeted, by the way. So it's really good for dodging Imperms and Chalices and Fog Blades. Like, they can target it. And when the card gets destroyed by battle or card effect, it can throw someone a Worm from grave. So typically, you make this you pop a card, and you put something like a Taye or Moyi, depending on your hand, and then you can just continue with your plays. Baxia, super necessary card. We play 2 of them. On summon, it bounces 2. Well, it bounces cards your opponent target cards your opponent controls, and it bounces to the hand, and you target up to the different attribute of Worm monsters used for a summon. So if you make it with Moyi, you only get to bounce 1 because the token that all the Swordsoul cards produce are water. But if you make it with Taye, you get to bounce 2 because Taye is a win. So typically we're making this with Taye going second to help break through the board. And that's an on-summon effect, the bouncing. And so you can chain block it with Taye. So you can make this 1 Taye 2 to dump since it's going to be hitting the grave. And it's also a monster reborn. Target a card, one other card you control, destroy it. And it's first summon a level 4 lower monster from your grave. This card is super great, and none of its effects is a hard once per turn, which is wild. The benefits of an old Yu-Gi-Oh card. Lastly, for the Yang Zing package, we played 1 Chow Fang. I was really debating with Chow Fang on whether I should play it or not. I wasn't really sure. I was debating playing the new Swordsoul synchro that we got in Bach, the Sovereign Games loop something. The one that banishes whenever your opponent breathes and they take 1,200 life point of damage. So I still might play that, but as of now, I think this is the more viable card. It doesn't come up a lot, but you can, if you open up at Hara. No, I'm not at Hara. I'm sorry. If you open a Shuna and Hara or a Shuna and Vishuddha, you can make this card prior to your new normal summoning, and that's how you play around a nib. But I'm keeping it for right now. But that is a flex spot for me. I'm not gonna lie. And for the last 3 synchros, play a Draco Berserker, a Ruddy Rose, and Big Baron. No need just playing Baron. Baron's a crazy card. It's super crazy. Omni negate. During a standby phase, you can bounce it back to your extra deck, especially some 11/9 lower monster from your grave. Draco Berserker is in there. Draco Berserker can get really big. It just pushes for damage a lot. And it's disruption. When your opponent activates a monster effect, you can banish it. It doesn't negate the effect, but it banishes it, which is crazy. This is another flex spot for me. I decided to play Ruddy Rose here with Phantom Knights being a very popular deck and then being so graveyard centric, and with DP running around everywhere. I feel like having a card that banishes every card in the graveyard is pretty good in a format like this. So I'm trying it out. I'm testing it out. I would be playing Omega, but I haven't seen a lot of invoke strategies at the events I've gone to, and even on DB I haven't played a lot as far as in rated and things like that. So this is the list, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please give me your suggestions, any thoughts, comments. Leave them in the comment section. I'm all ears. I'm here to listen. I just want to we all want to be good at this game of Yu-Gi-Oh that we all love, and we should help each other do that, you know. But with that being said, it's Bravo YGO signing out. Thank you guys for watching.